Welcome back, my fellow working class peasants. How you all doing? I'm going to break down the Square Enix E3 2017 schedule. This is a schedule that's got a lot of people worried, especially amongst the Kingdom Hearts fan base. I was just checking out a Gamers Joint video earlier, and oh my goodness, the comment section. A hell of a lot of negativity, a hell of a lot of pessimism, and I think it's just due to a lot of misinterpretation of the schedule, that people think this is set in stone. This means that Kingdom Hearts 3 isn't going to appear, FF7R remake isn't going to appear, when it's really not the case. So this is what the schedule looks like for June the 13th, 14th and 15th, but this really is just a small part of the story. It in no way reflects what's going to be shown on the main stages. It doesn't show what's going to happen in, around, at the press conferences, even the ones that are happening beforehand. It doesn't show what's going to happen on other developers, like Sony's stage. It doesn't factor in the major wildcard that is the Coliseum, certainly, and it doesn't even reflect that this might be the truth, because all programs are subject to change without notice. And we've seen previously in E3s they do change it because they wouldn't be able to announce things that they're keeping as a surprise. It's clear they're going to be trying to keep 7 Remake Kingdom Hearts 3 as a surprise trailer, to get a gasp at a shock value, and then after it's shown and the cat is out the bag, there's every likelihood that they'll then want to talk in further depth about it, discussing the development. So there's every hope that the titles we are wanting to be spoke about will still be appearing at Square Enix Presents. But regardless, I'm still going to break down what we do have on the schedule, because I did my E3 predictions. It's kind of shaping up to be correct. I've nearly called most of it. So going from day 1, which is June 13th, we have the typical opening with the 30 years of Final Fantasy followed straight up. So that's what we're going to be kicking E3 off, and I pray to all the gods, all the Final Fantasy gods, all the Espers, Aeons and Eidolons, that they don't do what they did at the previous 30-year Final Fantasy event, which is make this a non-event, just a blabbering load of rubbish and showing us commercial products. I hope they show stuff of substance here, and it's at this 30 years of Final Fantasy that some of those E3 predictions I made about, maybe some sort of port, maybe some sort of collector's bundle on one disc, I don't know, some sort of crystal chest. E3 would be a perfect place to show off a 30-year collector's edition, and we've had it for 25-year, we've had it for 20-year, we've had it for 15 and 10, so I see no reason why there's not going to be something really juicy for the 30-year of Final Fantasy, and I hope they show it off at this slot here. Then we have Dissidia, and I called it. I said it in my prediction that Dissidia would be the other thing we would see at this E3. I was really beginning to think it might be TGS, but I stuck to my guns with E3, and I'm glad I did. Next we have a trailer lineup, and goddamn, my phone's going.
I have crippling depression.
Goddamn, no respect. So that's easy, something that could get flipped, changed up, and be malleable to what trailers we see. Next we have the Agents of Mayhem. So this is a new IP that Square Enix is publishing on behalf of Deep Silver, who I believe are the guys who worked behind the Saints Row series. And I don't know if there's some sort of tie-in. All I know about it is that it's an open world action-adventure video game set in the Saints Row universe. And you're going to be able to pick 3 highly skilled and iconic characters from a roster of 12 and go on just a dope-ass rampage. That's all I know about it off the top of my head. Next we have a ride along with F1 2017 Codemasters. And this is another game that Square Enix are publishing on the behalf of, the publisher being Codemasters. And this is, as it sounds, it's a Formula 1 racing game. So there's that. If that's what tickles your pickle, all more power to you. Kingdom Come Deliverance. So this is another Deep Silver game that they're publishing, Square Enix are publishing on behalf of, and this is, where is it, let me read it, this is a story-driven open world RPG that immerses you in an epic adventure in the Holy Roman Empire. So that's 2 open world titles now that they're working alongside Deep Silver with. Moving on to the Final Fantasy XIV live letter. That was in my prediction because we knew about that already, so that's going to be cool from Yoshida for Stormblood. Stormblood's going to be a big one. And then the wrap up, quickly going into day 2, there it is, Lost Sphere. I called it that was coming. I thought it might be the one. So yeah, Lost Sphere coming down, and then going on to Brave Exvius and Mobius. Now, I did throw this into my prediction. Well, I called two things. I said on the mobile front, they're going to do something. It's either going to be a brand new title, a brand new IP, possibly a new FF mobile game. If not, they'll just look at Exvius and do some sort of expansion. And it's looking like there's going to be a special announcement, but it also looks like Mobius is getting it. Now, what could it specifically be? I think with Exvius, it could be something brand new and exciting. With Mobius, it could be any number thing. It could be any of the new chapter hard modes that are coming out. I think Chapter 2 Hope of Prophecy's got it, Chapter 3's got it. Chapter 5 even recently came out, The First Warrior Part 1. A new job came out called Bard. They even did a cross collaboration with FF14 for Welcome campaign. So really, could be anything. Could be any of those that are already in the work. Could be something brand new. But I really expected this with Mobius and Brave Exvius because they've really been pushing these titles. Yes, and there's no reason they shouldn't. Mobius now has 10 million users. And we saw in their latest fiscal report that the mobile games were quite to be attributed to the 20% huge revenue spike that Square Enix have recently seen. Square Enix are on cloud 9 right now. If you're wondering how the company is doing financially, things are gravy in the navy. And again, this ties into why the ethos that we're going to push mobile games to the West a lot harder. So there it is, the mobile titles on the table. How do you feel about it, guys? Let me know. What do we think about mobile games? I'm by no means adverse to them, but it does look like my prediction about Legends 2 was a bit off. It doesn't look like that's going to be coming through, which I'm kind of disappointed because that actually looked really good. And that really drew me towards wanting to play a mobile game sort of more than the others. But moving on swiftly, we've then got another trailer lineup, another Agents of Mayhem, a cosplay guide. FF14 Trials of Bahamut, that'll be interesting, I'll give that a watch. And now we have Flame vs Blaze 3v3 action on the go. And this is another mobile game, very combat centric from what I've seen, pretty fast paced competitive battles. It has quite a quirky narrative from what I saw from the trailer. And yeah, this is filling that slot that I kind of thought would be Legends 2. I knew they'd put more than one slot for a mobile title, so my Legends 2 guess was out. This is in. I don't know how I feel about this. I think I would have preferred Legends 2. I mean, I'll just show you a clip of the trailer. I don't know if the announcer is purposely trying to shout cheesily, if it's kind of like a bit of satire, or if it's not intentional. I mean, I'll just play the clip.
One massive boss battle to determine the victors. Exciting MOBA gameplay in just 10 minutes. Flame versus Blaze.
What is that? What is that? But moving on, we then have Final Fantasy 15 Universe. Now, I've got to say, this is what I let my guard down on. I kind of said in my prediction, I didn't think they would really promote the DLCs, but then when I went on to record my Prompto video and I thought more logically about it, it would only make sense that they promoted their DLCs. I don't know why I thought they wouldn't, especially when we don't have a release date for Prompto yet. It's supposed to be coming out this June. They haven't told us the day, so it looks like E3 is going to be the perfect time for that. That will probably come under the FF15 Universe slot. A far more extensive gameplay trailer, giving us a feel for what it really is. So yeah, I expect that to land down there. Again, maybe that VR. What else could come under this? I don't know, some other... I don't expect they're going to show Ignis off this soon, so maybe some other expansion bits, updates, hunts, quests. I'm going to keep my expectations fairly minimal. I don't think they're going to blow our minds with something like Nix Ulrich actually appearing in the game. Now they started creating Nvidia assets for him. That was for Nvidia, but I don't know, maybe they could really shock and surprise us. I would actually like them to show off the survey. Give us the results of the survey. For anyone who doesn't know, this is where we had to pick what the next DLC was going to be. An absolutely catastrophic decision to make fans have to make. Maybe they'll show us the results. Hell, maybe they'll just straight up say these are the results. And that's the next DLC we're going to do. Maybe they'll show off some Insomnia. They started working on things like the off-roading. They started showing us some areas we'd never seen before, like the outer walls of Insomnia. And other sort of new regions that could possibly be coming through. So this could be a really exciting slot if you have any love or motivation for FF15 left, which I personally most certainly do. And that will wrap up day 2, moving swiftly on to day 3. What we got? We got Dissidia, most asked questions with the producer and director. Give it to me. Hopefully they possibly give away some extra characters that are coming up, discuss maybe the scheduling of the character releases in a bit more depth. I'm definitely going to give that a watch, and again, I'm going to be live streaming this. We then have the Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, a second slot for that. Then we have the Zodiac Age, a Play and Collector's Edition unboxing. Now, I think they're going to have to be careful here, because if they use an entire 45-minute slot just to show off those, busts, those busts were nice, I really wanted them. All I do know is they were baller expensive. Really, this is like one of the first collector's editions that I've had to take a skip on, but I don't know, maybe once I've seen it shown off at E3, I'll have my mind change based on the quality of it. So it'll be cool to see some Zodiac Age, and I'm really looking forward to live streaming that. Next we have a Square Enix and Milestone, but as you can then see, it says Moto GP17 and MX GP3, which are driving games. And yeah, I'm not a fan of driving games at all. In fact, it's my least favourite genre. But again, whatever floats your boat. If you like them, I definitely hope you enjoy those slots. I'll be watching something different on my stream at that point. Next we have Square Enix presents again a trailer lineup, a focus on merchandise, Final Fantasy trading card game. Now, this is why we have to be respectful of what is your cup of tea. If driving games your cup of tea, fair enough. If trading card games aren't, I can expect there's going to be some people who aren't interested. I super am. I've been collecting the TCG. I play it with my mate every time he comes round. We get to rouse. It usually ends up in a punch up or one of us flipping the table. I'm even thinking of, there's a local store near me where they actually host FFTCG tournaments. I want to go down there, so I'm really excited to see this. Hopefully this will be the next Opus pack. Opus, not to be confused with Opie. So maybe they'll show off the new cards, or maybe something even further off. I'd really like to see some FF15 cards starting to get involved. So that could be a great slot. And now this, the Nier Automata. I really racked my brain over whether I should include this in my prediction, but I decided not to, because Nier just recently had a DLC. The video you're currently seeing now that brought the Kani outfit. Oh good god, look at it. Woo! Breathe, Pez. Big deep breaths. So I thought that it wouldn't be coming down, but it appears there is going to be something there for Nier in concert. A Deprival in white, a revival in black, sorry. Highlights. So Nier in concert. And then there's also an 11 to 3 PM slot called Emil's Entertaining E3 Extravaganza. So that's a huge slot of time I really wasn't expecting. And then finally rounding out with a Brave Exvius. So that's the schedule, that's the lineup. Again, I have to stress, guys, that this doesn't mean that Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy VII Remake aren't appearing. A lot of people are getting themselves stressed out that because there aren't 7 Remake and KH3 slots that they're not happening. But I want to re-emphasize, this does not mean that. It doesn't mean we're not going to get them. Square Enix Presents is just one small piece of Square Enix's overall appearance, and indeed it may be the case that 7 Remake and KH3 don't get Square Enix Presents slots, because that's where they typically go into a bit more depth with the game, and I feel they may just show us trailers. If we're lucky, we'll see trailers for both. If we're really lucky, we'll get vague release dates, aka which year they'll be in, as opposed to a specific month and a specific date. It'll probably just be that vague year, if we're lucky. So don't expect release dates, but do not despair that they're not going to appear. Keep your spirits high, Kingdom Hearts and FF fans. So that's me trying to be optimistic on this situation, but now to throw in a little bit of a curveball, just to be objective. There is the concern that recently in a Dissidia live event, or the live stream, supposedly it was confirmed that Nomura isn't going to be appearing at this E3. Now, yeah, that's kind of more concerning for the Kingdom Hearts fans than it is for the Final Fantasy fans. We've seen, especially with FF7 Remake, that being as that's under Kitase's division, and that there's people like Najima and other really big Square Enix figures sort of running the FF7 Remake, that there's plenty of people who could be there to represent the FF7 Remake trailer. As for Kingdom Hearts, being as that's more Nomura's love child, him not being at E3 is a tad concerning, especially if we couple with that the news that during the Kingdom Hearts World concert that is happening, which I think only has a couple or 3 more tours left to go, that supposedly at one of these concert events they were going to show Kingdom Hearts footage, a new trailer. Yeah, so could that be where Kingdom Hearts 3 finally makes its re-emergence from the darkness, the abyss that it's currently been hiding in? Every chance it could make its first reappearance at this concert, and indeed not E3. And all I know is that the KH fan base is going to absolutely lose its mind. They're going to go into a real tailspin, and Square Enix is going to have to deal with some very angry KH fans. But now, rounding this video out with another uplift, the other part of my prediction, and I'm super excited for this. I'm going to be watching this like a hawk, because the final part of my prediction was that a new title would come out of Square Enix, something we hadn't seen before, and that was based on the going through each division and seeing who had room for a new project, and I identified that Division 2 had that room, and I said that from that it could be a sequel, prequel and or spin-off game. Something within the Final Fantasy franchise, and that tied in with Tabata's quote that they were looking for a new project. Well, now I go to the Coliseum where we actually have the schedule of events for that, and Square Enix are appearing on both days. So on Tuesday, June the 13th, they've got a 45-minute slot at 3:15 to 4 PM, and on June the 14th they've got a half-hour slot from 5:30 to 6. And it's this second half-hour slot where we have got a quote of, are you ready for it, drum roll, join the team at Square Enix for a developer showcase, revealing new details about a game that will be announced for the first time at E3 2017. Oh, a new game, guys, something we've never heard about. So that isn't KH, that isn't 7 Remake. It's something brand new that we've never heard about. Now, I hope that is, well, it's a halfway confirmation that something is new coming out. I hope I'm right about the rest of that prediction. I hope it's from Division 2. I kind of went through all the divisions, saw they had the opening, saw it came from Tabata, so could that be the prequel, sequel, or spin-off? Could that be within the Final Fantasy franchise? There's every chance it could. But then again, there's every chance it could just be something derpy, perhaps. It could be a new Final Fantasy mobile title. It could be something hugely anticlimactic. I don't know, it could be a new Deus Ex game, it could be a new Hitman game, who knows. What it definitely won't be is a new Tomb Raider game. Again, based on what the Tomb Raider community manager said, that she would not be appearing, Lara Croft. So there it is. What could it be? Is that U-Type next? Is it WAF 2? Is it U10-3? Let me know in the comment section below. What do you think this new, never seen before, never announced to us before title coming out of Square Enix could be? Have your best bet in the comment section below. And despite my eternal optimism that KH3 and 7 Remake will make a trailer appearance, let me know in the comment section below in one sentence what you're going to do if they don't appear. What kind of carnage on your soul will this wrought? Describe to Chaos Pez the depths of your despair. He needs feeding. Until the next video, guys. Kubo!